He wanted to see Paris, wanted to go to Paris, and went to England first for, didn't find anything there, you know, was there for maybe a week, and then went over to Paris and had my guitar with me. People used to sing in the streets. They would be, you know, buskers, and here, this was the game. You found yourself like a store that had, windows and an entranceway, and you stood, you know, in a certain place, and you would kind of have an echo effect from the glass and all that.
Right.
And then you had an assistant, and it would, you know, you try and get a cute girl to be your assistant, and once people start to gather around, once they got to be like 3 rows deep, then the first row really couldn't get out. So the assistant then would come around with that cap, you know, to collect money. So I'd sing in the streets, and I could get, you know, make enough money to like, buy a hotel room or a meal or something like that. But I also learned, you know, about singing a little bit in front of you got to. I mean, that crowd, you got to entertain them pretty quickly, or they're gone, and they're not going to drop any francs into your cap, you know. So that was my first trip, and when I was there, I met a guy from England who said, "Oh, you should come over to England, and if you come over, you can come and stay with my family." And I said, "Oh yeah, okay." And then I came back to the U.S. and I went to law school. It's one of these things where you do something because you think, well, I guess I'm supposed to do that, when there was no point to it at all. This is what happened. Well, when I was a senior in college, a bunch of my friends were taking a law aptitude test, law board. So they said, take the test. So I said, okay. So I took the test, and I guess because I was an English major, so I was a reader. Anyway, I scored very high on the test. So I said, I don't. Maybe I'm supposed to be a lawyer. I don't know. You know, didn't want to be, but anyway. So I enrolled in law school and went to law school. And for a while, I was getting like, you know, A's and B's, but I wasn't doing any work. I was getting A's and B's. I said, I guess I am supposed to be this, because it's like I don't have to work, and I'm effortlessly good. Then came the midterms, and I got all D's and a C, you know, which was what I should have been getting. So I said, I think I'm going to England. I'm going to go over to England in the break in between. I went over to England and sang a little bit and thought, yeah, this is much more fun. Came back, re-entered law school, said, I don't know why I'm going to study to be a lawyer for musicians. This is completely backwards. I want to be a musician who hires these lawyers. So I'm quitting. So I quit, and I went to live in England, and which were some of the happiest, you know, certainly the happiest time of my youth. And I sang around in clubs. I mean, they call them clubs, but they were just like rooms above a pub, you know. And I started to write some songs. I guess I had maybe already written The Sound of Silence by then. I wrote that when I was 21 years old, but I was at home when I wrote that. But I wrote songs over in England, and I lived there for about almost 2 years, and we had recorded. Artie and I had gotten back together after he went to Columbia. We separated after high school. Well, we graduated from high school. He went to Columbia. I went to Queens College. He went into his world. He was studying architecture, and we just separated. And we each made some records by ourselves. But then we met we met again back in the old neighborhood where we were living. We were still living there, you know. And I don't remember why it is that we started to sing together, but we did. We started to sing together again. And at that time, I took a job. I've only had 2 jobs in my life. I don't consider this a job. What I do, it's too much fun, you know. My first job, I was a shoe clerk at Kitty Kelly Shoes. I don't even know if there is a Kitty Kelly Shoes anymore. There used to be a chain of these shoe stores, and there was one on 34th Street. And I took a job there when I was 15. And my job was, I was a stock clerk. My nickname was Lightning. Tell you something about how good I was as a stock clerk. You know, yeah, could you get that? Whoopee pump and a whatever, lightning, you know, whatever. And when we made our record and we got booked, you know, to skip back in time, booked on American Bandstand, I quit my shoe clerk job. Okay. I said, yeah, I'm out of here.